Hey everyone, welcome to the Paint Log. My name's Keith, and today we're going to talk about my hobby progress this week. This video actually marks 1 year of making videos on the Paint Log, so I'm super excited about that, and I wanted to do a little something extra, and despite feeling under the weather yesterday, and still honestly a little bit today, I was able to pull it all off. So enough of me rambling, let's get into the minis I painted. First up, we have this clan rat I showed off in a previous video, which I finally finished up, and I have decided his name is Scriven, and he will be a paladin to the mighty rat god whenever I finally get to play as a character in D&D and not just be the forever DM. Sad emotes, F's in chat, please, F's in chat. Up next, there's 4 walkers from Zombicide Undead or Alive, the board game. I'm painting them up in a slap chop style, which you can follow along with yourself by clicking the little notification that popped up, hopefully in one of the corners. I've never done that before, but if it pops up, you should check out that video because it shows you how to do it. It's quick, simple, and fast, and I'm hoping to paint up the entire zombie portion of this board game in this style, so stay tuned for that. And finally, we have this chef dragon from the board game Flamecraft. Now, this is an expansion, and it has a dragon for each of the different types of dragons that you can get in the board game. I highly recommend it. It's a very cute board game. But this figure was super cute to paint up. I very much love how it turned out. I went with a dark magenta and then a magenta as the undercoat, and then dry brushed the scales to get that yellow. The second picture to me is just probably one of my favorite pictures of a mini that I've ever taken. I don't know, it just, this little guy is so cute. And those are all the minis that I painted up this week. So make sure you leave a comment down below to let me know which one was your favorite. But I'm not done, because I promised you a board game review last week, and I have really been enjoying the board game. Don't judge me, okay? So we may have gone a little hard into the Red Dragon. Don't worry, we're going to start at the basics, and we will just start with the base Red Dragon Inn. But let's get out our handy metrics and start talking about it. Here on the Paint Log, we rate board games with 3 metrics plus my own personal bias score. And those metrics are approachability, depth of rule set, and price. The Red Dragon Inn is a competitive card game in which you and your friends take on the roles of adventurers that come to the Red Dragon Inn after a day of adventuring to party and gamble and generally cruise and have a great time. The box says to play with 2 to 4 players, though I think a game of 2 people would be semi-boring. So I would recommend 3, and you can honestly go as many characters as you want. There's 50 characters through expansions and whatnot that you can purchase. But I've heard that the game is most fun from 3 to 8. We have currently played it with 3 and have had a great time. The concept of a band of adventurers all playing around and drinking and gambling and having a good time, plus the art style for me just kind of sells it. I can see people who aren't into the fantasy style setting maybe passing on it, or someone who may not be into card games. So I'm going to give it a 7 overall. In approachability, it ticks my boxes, but I can see how it might not tick everyone's. Moving on to rules, each character has a unique deck that is already structured for you, so you don't have to build any deck or anything like that. Each character feels unique to play, but must follow a specific order when they get to their turn and what they can do. The game takes place on your player mat with colored beads representing your alcohol content, which starts at 0, and then your health, which starts at 20. And if the beads ever touch or cross, then you fall unconscious. On top of that, you also have a stack of gold. And if you run out of gold, then you no longer can pay for a room and you get tossed out of the inn. Both of these events lead to you losing that particular round. When it gets to your turn, you may discard any number of cards and then draw up to your hand sides. You may then play an action card, but you don't have to, and action cards typically influence other players' health or gold or alcohol content. Sometimes they influence your own. Third, you order a drink from the drink stack to another player, and you put that on their pile, and they must drink that eventually. And then finally, you must drink a drink yourself, which typically influences your health or alcohol content in some way. The core loop of the game is very simple, but the complexity seems to come in with the character decks. Now, in the base Red Dragon Inn, the characters do not have any special abilities, and again, the game is very quick and easy to learn. But as you buy different expansions, you have characters like Wrench, a kobold, who creates little gadgets that he can play, and they have passive effects over the turns. Or, where's my other one? Witch Doctor Natalie, who gives out hexes and curses based off of certain cards that she plays, which influence other characters in different ways. Or Pookie, who has a little meter which goes from calm to psychotic based off of events that happen in the game. So the complexity really ramps up as you try out different characters and get to find the very interesting personalities and playstyles that they bring. Ultimately, Red Dragon Inn is going to earn an 8 on depth of rule set for all the reasons that I listed before, but one of my strongest caveats with this and why I'm knocking it down an extra point, in my opinion, is because of the asymmetrical ending to the game. So if you were to play this with 8 people and the first person gets out, they could be sitting there for an extended period of time, and I can see that being problematic or frustrating for that individual. Moving on to price, you can buy Red Dragon Inn for around $35 or $40. And honestly, I think that's a steal, but some people might find that less than optimal for what you get in the box. It's 4 decks of cards, 5 decks if you include the drink deck. You get some coin tokens, and you, of course, like the player boards. And that's about it. And the game itself is what brings you the joy. Again, I think it's well worth it for the price, but some people might be put off on it. So we're going to give it an 8 as well. I should also mention that other editions, like this is Red Dragon Villain 6, it goes all the way up to like 12, I think 14. But they also are the same price, $35 to $40, and they typically come with 4 characters as well, potentially some unique mechanics. And then the individual character packs are about $15 each. So that again influenced my decision for the 8. And then finally, for my personal bias, Red Dragon Inn gets a 10 out of 10. It is perfect for our friend group. There is a slight bit of randomness with the drink deck that allows us to keep games refreshing and not have the same person win over and over again. We can play it as a drinking game, drink responsibly if you're of age, and the fact that the packs can be bought individually, like you can play the base game by itself, but it is phenomenal that on payday, if I'm feeling like buying a board game, I don't have to drop $60 for a whole new board game. I can buy a $15 Pookie pack and we're good to go. That gives Red Dragon Inn an all-around score of 8.25, making it the highest game of the 4 games we've rated thus far, and definitely one to check out. But with that, that's all I have. I want to take the time to thank everyone for watching thus far. Again, it's been a year of doing videos, and y'all have been super, super supportive. I didn't know if I was going to continue this after the year, but I definitely think I'm going to go strong. I still have projects lined up, and I want to be able to show it to people that are interested in it. Like, I don't want to flood Instagram with thousands of photos and just be like, look at my shit. Hit that like button if you like what you saw. If you really liked what you saw and you want to see more, I release a video like this every Thursday, so hit the subscribe button to stay notified and up to date. We actually got another subscriber over the past week, so thank you, number 23. You are much appreciated, and welcome to the Pain Log. And remember, I'm Keith, this has been the Pain Log, and I will see you all next time. Bye!